So which was the worst crusade to take place for the Holy Land? Well, the First Crusade could be seen as the only overwhelming success compared to the others. They conquered their target of Jerusalem, as well as a few other important cities, set up the Crusader states which allowed a continued Latin presence in the Holy Land for the next 200 years. They should have quit while ahead, because this one gets the 10 out of 10. The Second Crusade, launched in response to the fall of the Crusader county of Edessa, was a giant group project where basically everyone hated each other. The crusading armies never linked up. They argued with the Byzantines crossing through Constantinople, and defeats at battles and sieges made the West think, maybe this crusading business isn't as fun as the First Crusaders made it out to be. 3 out of 10. Third Crusade saw a bit of Swaz return to the Crusaders. Crusaders reconquered Acre, expanded down the coast to Arsuf and Jaffa, and although they never made it to Jerusalem, a treaty was agreed where Christian pilgrims could visit the city with safe passage. A 9 out of 10. The infamous Fourth Crusade didn't even make it to the Holy Land, as they sacked Christian cities along the way and then diverted to the Byzantine city of Constantinople and sacked that. Crusade was seen as a generational war crime against the Christians, and although the Byzantines retook their city 57 years later, their empire never recovered and the ever-advancing Ottoman Empire proved too much for them. Real 1 out of 10 Crusade. The follow-up Fifth Crusade actually started surprisingly well, striking at the Muslim heartlands in Egypt, taking the city of Damietta after an 18-month siege before it started to go catastrophically wrong. It pushed further up the Nile, forgot it floods, got flooded out, and then left Egypt with nothing. A 4 out of 10. The forgotten Sixth Crusade actually saw the Crusaders regain Jerusalem not through military action but through diplomacy. The excommunicated Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II pissed off the Crusaders by sliding into the DMs of the Muslims. However, you miss every shot you don't take, and his DMs actually worked, regaining Jerusalem and a 10-year truce with them as they dealt with internal strife. An 8 out of 10 solid effort. But the Crusades didn't stay successful for long, as the Seventh Crusade was launched in response to the Holy City falling in 1244 once again, and this time they went to strike at the Muslim power base in Egypt again, and it was the French King Louis IX. The entire Crusader army was basically destroyed, Louis gets captured and he has to pay a king's ransom to ransom himself, where he spends the next few years in Acre trying to make amends. 2 out of 10. Louis isn't a man to go down without a fight though, as he spearheads the 8th Crusade, but this time it's not to the Holy Land and it's not to Egypt, it's to Tunis. However, as soon as the Crusaders land, dysentery breaks out within their camp, Louis catches it and dies. The French agree a peace trade deal with Tunis and scuttle off home. A 3 or 4 out of 10. The Ninth Crusade, which was an extension of the 8th Crusade, saw the future King Edward I of England turn up to Tunis a bit late and then divert to the Holy Land. Edward does a bit of military raiding, talk to a few people, and then survive an assassination attempt. A 5 out of 10.